Okay, let me open with this. Here's your disclaimer. I am working with OPPO on this video, hence the paid promotion thing that popped up. Now, just because I'm working with OPPO doesn't mean my views are going to be misleading or I'm going to say anything that's untrue. Now, Mr. Who's the Boss has a very clear video on how this kind of content works. So I'm not going to repeat myself. I'll just leave a card to that video. Check it out for more information. Now, with the disclaimer out of the way, something you don't generally see, OPPO's got a new phone, the OPPO F19 Pro Plus. Pro Plus. Yes, you heard me right. Pro Plus. So what's so pro and what's so plus about this phone? Let's unbox it and find out. Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech, and if you do end up liking this video, go ahead, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that bell icon, all that stuff. Let's now get to it. We have an all blue and black box with minimal OPPO F19 Pro Plus branding to the front. OPPO F19 Pro Plus, that cannot be minimal, but hey, that's what we have to the front. There's also a stylized F logo. To the back, we have some spec highlights and a sticker that says this is the 8GB RAM, 128GB space silver variant. Let's now cut through the seals and slide the cover off. Once we open the box, the first thing we find is a cardboard insert. Inside, there's a SIM ejector tool, regular information booklets, and a silicone case. Next, we have the F19 Pro Plus itself. Peeling off that sticker, here's our first look at OPPO's latest smartphone. Let's put it in the case, set it aside, and get back to the box. What else is there? There's a 50-watt flash charger, USB Type-C cable, and an Apple-esque pair of earphones. Okay, now that we are done with the token unboxing, let's take a closer look at this F19 Pro Plus. The first thing that jumps out once you pick this phone up is how damn light it feels. It's got a plastic back, yes, crystal clear plastic back, which in this segment is not great, but OPPO's tried to make it feel as premium as possible with that matte finish. The grey color looks nice, it's soft to touch with a frosted look that catches the light nicely at different angles. There's very minimal OPPO branding to the back, and because the phone is this thin, you guessed it, there's a protruding camera hump that does cause a little bit of a wobble when the phone's laid flat on a table. The rear camera setup consists of a 48 megapixel primary, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and 2 regular sensors that all brands seem to add these days to make up for a quad camera setup. So 2 megapixel depth, 2 megapixel macro. The primary here, it is an OmniVision sensor, the OV48B. Initial impressions, it actually seems to do well. We've not seen a lot of this sensor, but the pictures that we shot, they turned out great. There seems to be ample detail. The white balance was on point more often than not. The colors are natural, and the dynamic range is way better than what I expected it to be. Flagship grade from the looks of it. We managed a few really awesome shots with this camera. My favorite's got to be this shot of the blue building there with the sunset in the background. You can actually see how good the dynamic range is here. Now, another thing I really liked about this setup is the fact that there is no color shift between the primary and ultra-wide. And the ultra-wide, it's an 8 megapixel sensor, the Hynix HI846. I don't think we've seen this sensor in action either, but then again, most brands rarely mention the name of the sensor for the primary, let alone the ultra-wide. As for video, this phone is capable of shooting up to 4K 30 FPS, and the results are also pretty impressive. To get better stabilization, you're going to have to take a hit on resolution. This was shot at 1080p. OPPO is also offering a dual view video mode, which, as the name suggests, lets you shoot 2 different perspectives at once. Seems cool. Other software-specific camera features include a new dynamic bokeh portrait effect, multiple night mode options for pictures, there's Cosmopolitan, where the saturation is supposed to have increased, then there's Astral, where the sky and shadows is supposed to take on a greenish blue hue. Then there's Dazzle. Here the black, blue, and orange hues is supposed to dominate. This is supposed to help make those city light shots look better. There's also an ultra night mode for video along with HDR support. The selfie camera, it's a 16 megapixel affair. OPPO phones traditionally have great selfie cameras. The F19 Pro continues that trend. All in all, the optics on this phone appear to be promising. Now with the cameras done, let's move on to what's under the hood. Here we have the Dimensity 800U chip running the show. We've already seen this on other phones and the performance was pretty good there. And it's pretty good here too. Day-to-day tasks don't seem to stress this chip at all. The user interface felt fast and snappy with no stutters or lag. With gaming, again, we ended up trying our favorite game to test, Call of Duty Mobile. It ran flawlessly under normal settings. The high settings, though, they were grayed out. Now, the MediaTek Dimensity 800U is a 7nm premium mid-range chip with support for 5G. 5G doesn't really mean a lot at the moment, But the 7nm part, that does make for a pretty battery efficient chip. We've seen the battery efficiency on other phones, and here again, that leads me to expect good battery performance with this 4310 mAh battery. Now, if you need to top up, there's a 50-watt flash charger as we saw included in the box, and OPPO claims it can get you from 0 to 100 in under 50 minutes. Now, the fact that OPPO has a comparatively smaller battery, that's enabled the F19 Pro Plus to be very light and slim. It's just 7.8 millimeters thin and it weighs in at 173 grams. These days, most phones are pushing the 200-gram mark. So if you aren't somebody who needs those 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 mAh batteries and you would like something lighter, then OPPO is offering you an alternative to the regular mainstream options. Okay, cool. The build, that's done and dusted with this. What else? We've got excellent optics, a good premium mid-range chip, a decently sized battery, a super fast charger, and then we'll talk about the display. How can we forget? After all, that's what we're going to be staring at and interacting with the most, right? OPPO's used a 6.43-inch panel with a small hole punch to the top left. The resolution is Full HD+. The tech used is Super AMOLED. So all that's great, the colors, the viewing angles and all that, but sadly the refresh, it's standard 60 Hz. I would have really liked to see a faster refresh here given what the competition offers. Now, by the way, for protection, we've got Corning's Gorilla Glass 5 on top of the display and the cameras. Other sundries include a headphone jack, in case you've not guessed from the AirPods-esque earphones that were included. There's a single speaker at the bottom. It's pretty loud, actually really loud and free of distortion. The power buttons and volume rockers are at opposing sides, and that's neither a pro nor a con, just information. Okay, let's now talk user experience. We have ColorOS 11.1 running on top of Android 11, like I said in that other video. It's always cool to see a brand launch a phone with the latest Android version that's available, because you don't want them to launch with with an older version and just give you the latest version that is currently available and call it, hey, one update, right? Now, ColorOS is pretty feature rich. We've seen most of these features in the past: OSIE, visual effect to pump up the videos, a system-wide dark mode, nighttime standby, game space. The software here, it just seems to be stable and smooth. And with that, it's now time for us to talk pricing. The pricing on the box is $29,999, but usually the price is generally lower than what it's mentioned on the box. There seems to be only one variant, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, so this might end up more on the expensive end of the spectrum. Now, that's just me guessing. Since as of shooting this video, I don't know the official price. But once I do get to know it, I will pin it to the comment section like I always do. So you guys see that. Tell me what you think about the OPPO F19 Pro Plus. Leave a comment down below. And by the way, this is how I think you should be working with a brand. Start with the disclaimer. Be honest about what you cover. Now, please let me know if you feel I was biased or unrealistic with this phone at any point in this video. Don't let me off easy. Do let me know whatever you think. And on that note, let's wrap this quick little unboxing up. Thumbs up if you feel I deserved it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.